What's up, everybody, and welcome back to SM Software Flutter series. In this episode, we are going to integrate our Flutter APIs. So, we are going to connect our backend with our Flutter. So, we are going to see how we can add the full authentication system, so that the user can send the data to our backend. So, for this episode, we are going to start with the Node.js, and in our next episode we will integrate Laravel if you want, or Django. Let's take a demonstration how we are going to handle this. All right, so to demonstrate our login system, authentication system with APIs integrated. All right, so I got my server running ready. It's not here, but I can run npm run dev dash dash and dash host, and I want to host this from my local host. So if I press enter, this will start running, and you just see our server is connected successfully, and we are using MongoDB as our database, cloud database, and this is our database. So we have a simple Node.js app running. Okay, so now if I go back to my application, so this is my Flutter app. So if I try to log in, right, they log in also successfully. So I can navigate to home, to my profile, user profile, etc. I can also log out, and I can also say forgot password or create a new account. All right, so I can also create an account. If I go to account and create an account, I can give it a name, and email. Just do .com, and the password, you can put the password, confirm the password, and I create the terms and create an account. So this will create an account and redirect us to user account. So I can press user account. So this will take us to the user profile. Okay, another thing also, we also work on navigation. So you can see that navigation is well done here. Everything is set properly. So we can navigate to home page, and also navigate to notifications. Everything is already set in place. All right, my name is Shaban Musamba. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and also like our video. So we are going to integrate all APIs step by step, create the models, organize our models, and then start making the request to our backend. So in the next episode, in our next episode, also we will create APIs, Laravel APIs. So if you want to integrate with Laravel, let's get started. All right, so to get started, first of all, you'll need to have a backend. So I'm not going to cover the entire backend, like building, create Node.js, whatever, because I already have a backend here. So you can just go to my GitHub repository, and you will be able to clone this backend. So you can just click clone. So I'll leave the link in the description, so you can go ahead and clone the application. So once you clone the application, the only thing you'll do is to run Flutter, sorry, Node to install the packages. So you run npm install. Let's install all the packages, and I just want to show you a couple of things here. Um, we got a couple of things. First of all, this is a sample notifications because I don't want it to create the notifications database. So I just want to once you make the request to the database about the notification, so you will get this sample notifications for testing. It doesn't matter. So, but if you in future you can integrate your only or integrate the queues to start create the notification once a new user has joined or whatever you want to do with your backend. Okay, this is for notification, and then also we got this one. This is the auto controller, so everything is very organized, and also I have put some comment there for you to read and then understand at least. And you can see token, we have token and also refresh token. So refresh token, you can set whatever any duration you want. If you want to set for 1 hour, whatever, 1 day, we can still set, you can change that here. But most importantly is once you clone the project, so you have to set up a couple of things here for you. You have to set up your MongoDB. So to set up your MongoDB Atlas, MongoDB cluster, sorry, and also generate the JSON web token secret, and also set the expire time, expiration duration, and also you can set the host there for Mailtrap, because we use Mailtrap to test the password reset, email sending, all of that. And you will also be able to set to add all of this. This is about your Mailtrap, the token, and the front end URL is not really matter because you are not going to run front end here. Our front we are only running APIs. That's it for .nv. I want to walk you through just a little bit of things we got in here. So because we don't want to come back to back end. Another thing is we got a model for the database, which you can see that we have a simple model, which is just create. We have username, which is required. Username is required, email required, password role is not required, and avatar, which is a string, and backend image is also a string. And we have device info, which we get from the user. But if you see the device info, you see that we got a couple of things in here. Is actually an object. So is an object which we have the device ID, operating system, or OS, model, brand, manufacturer, last login, all of this, and just the data, the time stamps, which is generated automatically. After that, we got a method which you use to generate or to hash the password. Secondly, we also have another method here which we use to convert the ID instead to return the underscore ID. So we just return the ID without underscore, and just export our model. So the main server is very simple. So I just put everything in this file. So I don't want to have different file because it's just a simple backend for testing. Yeah? So our application is here. This is the setup for application, and then where we have the router. You can see we only have two routes here. We have auto route and notification. So if you take auto route, is here. We've got register, login, forgot password, reset password, profile, and refresh token. This is the only routes we have in here. And for notification, we got get all notifications and read notification, set as read, update, and read all, set all, or update all as read, and also create notification. This one is not really matter because you don't create notification from the front end. Notification is being created from the back end. So if you go back to the server, this is the only thing we have from the server, and we have Mongo's. We just Mongo's and initialize our Mongo, create the connection. If its connection is successfully, return this message here. And this is the route, register the route here. So our app is here, but one thing I want to point here is that you can see since we are going to run this, we are going to make requests, APIs from Flutter. So for Android Studio, Android, by default they run whatever I call local host. So they port that URL we usually use, which is 7, I think 7.2. It's 7.2.7.2.1.0.0, something like that. You cannot use this, you cannot use this for testing. Why? Because Android by default is running the same local host. So it's running the local host this way. So for you to make a request for when you are using the local development like this, so you must use this. First of all, we accept all the requests. We are listening on all the requests, all the local environment, local host. And if you see here, we are running on our local host. So this is different. So what I want to show you here is if I stop the server here and I can do IP config to see my current IP address, my local IP address, my Wi-Fi local IP address, you can see this is my IP address. So yours is different. It's not as this one. So you see that wireless LAN adapter. So you can copy this one. So this is the one you will pass here. You will pass once you want when you want to run the server. You'll use npm run dev dash and dash host, and then you pass this IP address, so that now other devices or the other devices on the same network can connect to this server. Okay, so this is the only thing you need to do here. So if you have a problem with that, you can always leave a comment on the description, or you can also send me an email. I can give you support about this. So this is the only thing. We don't have much in here. The rest, once you clone the project, you find the rest there. They are very clean. They are very clear to understand. All right. Next, we can go to our Flutter and go focus there. All right. So from our previous episode, so we completed this application. So this Flutter application, which we got almost everything. So if you go to login here, you see that you can put any email, me@me.com, and any password here. And you can go to login. So this doesn't do anything. These are static content. So what we want to do here is you actually want to create an account, so integrate the API. So if you don't watch this episode, the one we complete all of this, I can recommend you to watch it too. So you can go to our Flutter series to check this and see how to design all of this. Right. So what we have to do next, I got this application open here. So what we want to do next is, first of all, we need to create the models. We don't have models. if you go to this our application, if you go to our application, you see that we're supposed to have models in here. For example, data. So we need to place our models in here. We don't have models, so we need to have another folder called models, and we can also have another folder called this one, another folder called service, like this. Services is still okay. So models plus service. What else can you have in there? Models and service. That's fine. All right. So let's start with the model first. So model, I can close this one. We don't need this one for now. We will get back to this later. Yeah. And this one. All right. So we need to create the first thing we need in the model. We can start with user. Create user, lowercase, all of them lowercase. Can say user model dot that. Okay, so user model, you can to speed up, you can also use AI to speed up the process to create model. So AI just help you to generate everything. Another thing, also even here, VS Code also got AI integrated, so you can use even this. You can use Copilot is here, or you can just ask this. Since you are also using down here, you can see that Windsurf it can also help you generate models. So let me ask that. Let me ask this to generate a user model class with the following. So let's say user ID, user as a string, and also got email string created at updated at, but also we got a password, and maybe is active role, maybe also got let's say token, which is string, profile picture URL, but this one you can say avatar, and we can let's say here we can have refresh token. If you want to add last login is fine. You can also add background image. You can also add deleted. So these are things we can add. Yeah. Also bio. Okay. Now let's see if AI can do all of this one very quick. Yeah. Let's see. It's not correct. Yeah, it is not that correct. Got a couple of things to do in here to correct it. So we need to correct this one. Another thing is you can also use ChatGPT. You can also use ChatGPT. All right. So in this model, is some things we do want to use. So I don't like to use the package to generate the model. Nope. I don't want to do that. So if you want, you can go ahead and use that. So I just want to I just want to go ahead and generate everything by myself. so I can control everything, because sometimes I use let's say I use the package, and I still have to come and I don't know, correct the data again. And also I don't want to call this model user model. I can call it just user to make it short. Oh, sorry. I can call it just user. So I can rename this to user instead of user model like this. But it is recommended to also make sure that the file name is actually match the is not mandatory, but you can try to make sure that the file is actually the matching the class name. Right. So factory, we just have so we have factory. I'm going to generate factory by myself. And so factory, we can remove this. This might take me a couple of minutes to complete everything. Sorry, factory, and then this is going to be a class. So we'll have let's say we have map. This is map dynamic. So dynamic. So we'll have string and dynamic string and dynamic. So if I save that, uh, if I press tab, so the AI generated this the rest one, the rest. Okay, so this guy just going to return ID. These are static, and the rest are dynamic. This is what we see here: static. Sorry, we have a string and dynamic string, and these are ID, name, email, all of that, all of this. But this is, let's say, same to convert user to JSON. So this is the method to convert user to JSON object. We can add. I don't like this. We can instead to do this one here nil. I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to check if doesn't exist. Yes. Else we set nil. If does exist, yes. Else we set nil. But I have to I can also edit all of this one at once. Just add one comma like this. And for bottom one here, it looks like that one needs to correct that. Created the data. For the date, oh, this one you don't need this, and this one. So you can still copy this to give AI to help you clean up errors, to convert to JSON. So for this one too, we can use the same thing. Let's see. Okay, this method now, we just want to convert the user object to JSON. So we'll take ID, name, all of this, convert to JSON. But what I would like to do is, I can get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this. I can copy this and okay, and go to AI. So I got the ChatGPT open here. So let's clean up this model and check nils. I don't know how to call that, nilable nils. So we want to make sure that we don't have because when you are receiving data from the API, sometimes there's no data there. So if there's no data, sometimes it might crash, it might get exception, crash your app. So you have to make sure that okay, this is a clean up version. I can save this here. Okay. We will walk through this. We'll walk through this. But another thing is ID cannot be nil. ID cannot be nil. Yes, ID cannot be nil. It will be always there unless if you want. Yeah, looks like AI will return this, which we don't want to do it that way. Okay, this is one model. So I want to create another model. I don't have to spend my time here. I want to create another model. There's something here I want to show you. Avatar is not going to be avatar. Is not going to be string. It's going to be an image model. We don't have this model. Let's go ahead and create image model. So any image you get from our server, so we want to have some image. We can come with some data, some meta. For example, image ID, path, I don't know, size, all of that. So this is what we want to do here. So create an image model class. So we don't want to do that. We can just do a class image model class like this. Okay, image model class. We will correct this. So what you are going to have here is you are going to have ID URL. So you can call this URL or call it path like this. So we'll have ID, path, description, details. This is the only thing we have here. So in here, you see that now that you can use now that image model. So the same thing as here, background image, we want to also have image model. What else? I think that's correct. So that's correct for user model. All right, so now we need to correct this one now. For this, for example, avatar, we want to check, what is this one? I can remove this one. So we want to check JSON. Yeah, JSON. So we pass avatar. If you have avatar, we create avatar. We create an image object from this avatar, and then you also do map. Else we just return nil. So we can do the same thing here. So if I save that, we don't have error. So for nilable, we will come back to check for nilable, because you see, for example, all this data you're returning, if for example role, there's no role, this will throw an error, but we don't want to throw an error. If there's no role, you can just ignore it. Okay, that's correct. Also down here, where is avatar? This one we don't want to pass like this. We can check if avatar, when we return, we convert to JSON, else we return nil. The same thing as this one. So nil, we check if it's nil, if it exists, to avoid error. This is one model and this is another one. So another model we want to create here is a dashboard. Create dashboard model. Dashboard model. We can create dashboard. We can call it dashboard model or just dashboard. We can call it dashboard model to avoid, sometimes get error with the dashboard class. Or if you want to keep it simple, just dashboard model. So the job for this guy just to bring to get the account data. So account data, you see, it might come with the user data, user post, user settings, so much things. This is the job for this one. So you can call dashboard model. Okay, you can create a class dashboard model which will take user, and we just generate the rest. Another way, if you want, you can use AI to speed up. Yeah. Okay, so we get use. We see now we automatically the AI suggests that you need to get user, but we don't need this. Yeah, we don't need this. Instead, we can have let's say finally notification, and we pass notification. So we don't have this. First, let's create this notification. We will come back to work through this. We will come back for this user notification. We come back to correct this one. So we have notification. Let's say, for example, also finally let's say shrink. This could be shrink or double. Let's say double progress. You can also say, what else can you add there? I think this is it for now. Progress. So here now we need to add also progress. So means the rest here we need to correct them. All of this one. We need to correct all of this. Notification. And progress. Okay. And here we can give to AI to clean up a little bit. Okay, so user, we don't need this. We don't need widget. Get this rid of this. So we need to create notification. I can go to model here, create more notification. Oh, sorry. This is it here. So I can create a notification model. Notification dot. Okay, so class notification class notification model. So you can do class notification. So we got this generated by default by AI. We will get back to this one. But one thing you need to add here, you need to add user. You can do finally user is equal to user, and also this one. Here you can add the user, and also down here. Okay. So now we got the class here with the user generated. So back here, I can now import that notification. Okay, so what I need to do, I don't want to spend time working on all of this. So I can just copy this, give to AI. Let's clean up this. So AI can speed up to clean up for us. Got to clean up dashboard model. I don't know, which one do you think should take? Let's take this one. Copy and try to paste this here. Let's walk through this, what we got. So you got user, and also this, and also this. Okay, this is correct. Here and here, this is correct. So This is mm, but we can I think this is fine for now. We will get back to this if it is there any error. We will get back to correct. What else can we create here? If you want, you can create a post model, but we are not going to use post in this one here. If you want to see that, we can add post model and the rest of the model, just show them here. Let me give AI this one to clean up. Clean up and clean up and check for nilable for nils. And this. So we'll check if you have any error there to just clean up for us so we can continue. Okay, let's see. Summary, use date to try instead of date.pass to avoid crash on a invalid date type. The date, this date, let's say date from the API, from API backend. Sometimes it meant be a string. So we must use it. You must consider that as a string. Consider date as string to avoid error. So that means anytime if you pass the data, you also have to return it as string, because if you are using getting a different type of data, this may create an error. So sometimes API meant to return the date as string, not as a data, not as a date. So that means you are going to have created at if it's not nil, as a string and then convert it. Okay, it's not really smart, but we will see that. Nope, I don't like that. I want to do as string. As a string. Keep it as a string. I don't like to bring it as a dead. Always string, because backend we have to return as string, but once we get it, we can convert it to string, to date. We can convert date to string, a string to date. So to do whatever you want to do. Do we have anything here too? I don't know. Here too. Convert this to string to string. Yeah, because the way we receive date, sometimes you always have that problem to match the format we will save from the back end, and then we also want to convert it. It may cause issue, and you find yourself spending much time there trying to fix that error. But the best way is convert it to string and convert it to, when you save it is a date, but when you are sending to the back end, to the front end, you can convert it as string. To the front end, you can convert it to string and convert it back to date. Okay, this is fine. What else do you have in here? And this one. So you must also remember that the date, the models we're expecting date as string. Anything else? This one, there's no date here. Okay, so this is it for the models. Models now we are clean. Right, so next we can now go ahead and create the config. Create the API configs. We are going to use DO to make our APIs request. All right, let's go and do that. Okay, so next we need to go to call. And call, we need to create a couple of things in here. We got middleware, we got network, route, theme, and utility. So we need to start with the network. So for the network here, we need to create, we can start with the API. Yeah? API, create a file called API client dot dat. So we are actually, we need to have 3 of them here so that you can work better. Sorry. So we need also API config. So this is where you're going to store our the path. API config dot dat. We can also create another call exception, API exception. This help us to catch the exception, intercept the exception. Exceptions dot dat. Right. So we've got 3 files here. We can start with which one? First of all, we need to make sure that we have DO installed. So go to our packages, check to make sure that we got DO. So I got DO here installed, so I don't have a problem with that. DO installed. What else do you need? So make sure also you have a share preference and also Flutter secure storage. We can also use make sure to have also device info. This really can use it in future, but for now we just need this one. Make sure we have these three installed there. Okay, the time you are watching this video the version may be changed, but try to have the latest version. Okay, back to our APIs. We can start with let's start with the client. Okay, but client, we got client, we also got config, but config is actually better. We can do a class here called API config. You can this guy generate API config. So in here, this way you're going to put our the path for our API. So the base, we are going to have a base URL. We are going to have base URL, but we don't want to return it this way. You don't want to get full URL. If you want to this, you will have, we can use this in future. But what we want to do is, if you go to our back end, this is our back end. So you see where's our API running. This is our API. So I want to show you an example. If I copy this guy and I go to the browser here, open this, here, I reload, but I want to pass, I can just reload this one. We get a message here, backend is running. So I want to show you where is that message coming from. Backend is running, this is the message here. So you can see that our API is register. So every API must have this path here, API / and then you pass the path. So that means that you need to go with that path here, that our base URL, this is the one, and then pass API here like this. So the version, this one, we are not really going to use this one. So I can get rid of this one for now. So in future, if you want, you come back. So I mean, even if it's your URL, you can just replace this with your URL. So this is very simple and clean way. So we have the static URL, we have the login. So string, how you define just static const shrink login, and then you pass the login. So these are very simple and clean. Let's see if AI can help us speed up. So we have, let's say, for example, profile. So this will we can just have here can have auth and profile, but and this one, if you see back here, you must pass the auth like this. So that means you can go back to here. This guy you must pass auth and here to auth like this. So we must pass like this auth, and you can also we also need reset. Let's say refresh token, but this one is going to be forgot password. Okay, log out, but we have refresh token, verify email, reset password. We also have this is going to be forgot password. Actually, I can remove this. Just have forgot password. Yeah, we have reset password and forgot password. That's it. Okay, the rest now is we also have verify email. We have it ready. We can have setting. We can call this setting where now this is an update or settings. Setting data. We can also have static, say change background image, and then change also avatar, and change profile image. So we can call it maybe just avatar, auth avatar, like this short background image. Yeah, what else do you need? We also have notifications. Yeah. So notification, if you want, you can pass an auth, or you can just pass this way. Yeah. What else? I think this is the route the path we have. Okay, can save this. And now we can go to client. Client, we have client and the exception. For client, can do class client API client. So in here we can let's do static finally API client. Create the instance API client. You just create the instance of this guy here. What do you want to do next? Okay, we can do factory. Factory in API. We can just use a inline function like this arrow function to just return this guy here. And what next can we do? We can do do let finally, or let do is equal to do. So we need to import this do. Come on, do import it. It's not there. Let's see. Undefined class do. Why is do undefined? Means we didn't install. We don't have do installed. Maybe let's go to our packages first to check. Try to update this to make sure that the packages are installed. All right, looks like the packages actually exist there, so we don't have any issue there. I can cancel this. Okay, so what we can do is import the package. Can do import dio, import dio, but we can do, can also do import, and I do import. I want to do that IO, that IO as a platform, because we also want to use platform like that. We will use that. Okay, so now let's create a private constructor. Private constructor. Okay, can you generate that? Yeah, we will get back to this one. So create a private constructor. We're using our instance. And let's just go ahead and create another method here. We need to see what method again can we create in here. We will have a couple of methods, but actually, we have DO. We can also create finally secure storage. Secure storage. So we create also an instance of secure storage. But we do want to use Flutter. We can do const Flutter Flutter secure storage, like this one. So this is the one we are going to use. Okay, this is correct. Okay, so if we go now back to our DO instance, our DO constructor. So what we want to do here, we can get option. So a base option, we want to pass the options for DO. So we will pass base URL. So for base URL, let's pass first for the base URL. Base, we do have base URL here? Nope. Base URL, so it's going to be, we are going to use our config, so going to be app config, no, is it API config? API config, API config, the class, the class, and then dot base config. So where's our API config? This is the API config, and this is the base config we want to use here. You see that is a static method. So once you get it here, this is the config, the base URL. Once we get it here, header, we can content type, we can pass content type to JSON. That's fine, and accept JSON is also fine. We don't even need that. What else do you need? We can options. We can set connection timeout. These are things is not really required, but sometimes you can just pass connection timeout. Let's say, for example, const. We can do const duration, pass maybe 10 seconds, and also receive timeout duration, set also to pass also to 10 seconds. And this one we don't need. This one can remove this. I think this is correct. This is fine for now. Okay, that is for best option for DO. What else do you need? Okay, now we can now use DO interceptor. I can clear this one. I don't need this for now. So can do DO interceptor. Okay, so this what this does is when we are sending a request, a request. So this just capture and add some data. What we want, which data you want to pass. For example, pass the header token. We want to pass the header token. Anything you want to pass in here. So we do DO. The DO is this one up here. This is the one. So do.interceptor. So we set now the interceptor. We on request. We add options and headers asynchronized. So we get the data, the token. So the token, we don't want to read the token this way. Instead, we want to create a function to read the token, a method. So I mean, read token, read token. We don't have that method, but we can create it. Create a method. So just to create this method down here. So the job for this method is just to read the token, get the token and return it. So the method just will take string, and what are you going to return? So we can do try catch, pass key and return and get the token. So we do try catch. First of all, this asynchronize a method or function which we wait for the token. We do secure storage.read, and then we pass the key, which is equal to token. So if we get the token, we return the token. But we also have something else to do. In case we don't have token, since we want to this application to run from a mobile app, because for example, secure token, Flutter secure token, I think is only supported on mobiles. It means that Android and iOS. So for Window browser doesn't support. So if you want to add that feature, you can also add it. But for now, we can just limit it from here. You can also do. We can also do. If you want to go further, you can create a function which you can just use to check the to get the how do you call, to get the platform. So that means I can create a function here, check the platform. So I can do a feature. It's a feature void. Feature void like this. So I can do storage, secure storage, or store token is equal to asynchronize. Asynchronize like this. Okay, is equal to asynchronize. So we want to get the package. Here we want to check the want to check the no. Actually, this is wrong here. This is not what I'm supposed to do. What I'm supposed to do, since we already have secure storage, we just want to do boolean. Instead, I can just do boolean. So we can do boolean, and we do is secure token, is secure platform, is secure supported platform, and we can do return platform. So this platform we created up here, this one, the one we imported there. So can do platform dot if its platform is equal to Android or is equal to iOS, return. But also maybe support a Mac, or is equal to platform is equal to Mac, which is is Mac, iOS, like this one. So if you have it, you can return. So that means if this guy here, we can use it down to check for secure token. So here, so that means I can do if secure token, no, if is supported platform, we can do return read all of this and return else return nil. But we don't want to return nil if it doesn't exist. Instead, we instead we can do else return. Since if you see here, we quote Flutter secure storage and also share preference. So that means you can maybe also return you can return share preference. So you can do finally preference pref is equal to await share preference dot get instance. We get the instance and then we get the token. So we need to import this guy, share preference, and then if you get it, we just return the token. But we can do preference to shrink, just return this one. We don't need to that. So this one is not really matter. Okay, so this is for get token, read token, but we can also create a function, a method to save token. So we can do the same thing. I can now generate the rest. Else, yeah, that's read token. We can create a refresh token if you want. Let's say delete token. No. Say refresh token. So can call a refresh token. We can do do refresh token. So we can get the token. We don't want to do this. We will fix this one later, but the method, let's just leave it empty for now. Refresh token, and which one can you do? Refresh token, secure token. Can also do get token, but for now, let's go back up because I think you have much to do. Go back here from the interceptor. You see now we get the token. Once we get the token, so we need to pass the token. We can pass the token to the interceptor. If there's it's not nil, pass the token. So as bear token like that, bear token like that. And we can return handler.next. So just continue with the function. If we got error, response error, we can go also error handler and then return .next with the response. But instead of doing this, we can use now our exception. So means that first of all we need to go and handle our exception. So exception is the one now we need to catch the error and then see how we want to handle that error and display them. Because we still have a couple of things to do in here, a couple of methods to create everything to handle here so that this class could be perfect. This is a class we are going to reuse for all our requests through our application. All right, so we can start with we can handle this one on error. So on error is very important. So we have DO exception and handler. But what I can do is, let's make this a asynchronous method. So we don't want to just return like that. We want to do a couple of things in here. First of all, we can check the error, the status, because we also want to refresh. So we can do if error.static code is equal to 401. So this means that that's an authentication problem. The user is unauthenticated. So what can you do? We can maybe create refresh token. So handle an authorized error refresh token. So can do finally refresh token is equal to, so await, and we want to get the read refresh token, which we don't have. So we need to create this one. We can go and create the method. So if let's go ahead and handle this method first. Okay, so for refresh token, we can say that, okay, this is a feature, and this guy take a string. By default, if it doesn't exist, it's fine. Can also be nil. So we can also check the platform. Check the platform if is equal to Android. If the platform supported, so we can return the token. Else, we can use the preference share preferences dot get instance and return this data. Okay, that's correct. But what else can you do? We can also yeah, that's correct for now. So if you go back up here, where is that again? Up here, if you go back here, you see that, okay, we got now the token. So if you get the token, what can you do next? If you get the token, we can check if the token is not nil. Check if the token is not nil. So that means we can try to refresh the token. If the token is not equal to nil, so we can do try catch. So we can do try catch. Try catcher. So here we can do finally response or refresh response is equal to do.post, and then we take also our base URL. You see our config. Go to config and take the refresh token. So if you go to config, refresh token we created is this one. So we want to make a request to the back end to refresh that token to see here. Okay, so now we wait for the response. We get now, okay, we pass now the data. Sorry, we pass the data. We refresh the refresh token to the response. If now we get the data, we can do here response. Let's do yeah, I can take this one. Okay, so we can do what I can do instead. I think this AI generator is a lot. We don't need all of this one. So I can do finally. I can just do finally Finally, clone request is equal to um, is equal to is equal to await. So we wait for do.request. Do.request. So we take e dot. So e, where is that response? This error. That was the error. Sorry, that's the error. Error.request option, and we can pass the method. We can do error.path. Maybe you can do path of method. Path of method. We take that method. The method was in the request. Remember, it was in the request when we send the request. So also when you get the error, we also got the when you get the exception error, we also got the method there attached to that error. Method was used to send that request. So this is the method we get. Once you get that method here, we just want to pass the options. Come on. Yeah, options. Yeah. Yep. Options. Once you get the option, that was I jumped the line. So once you pass the options here, method, and then you pass also the header, but you can connect request.header. You take that header we passed, the header we used before up here, and then we just passed again here. And then we'll pass also the token again. The token again, yes. And for option now, we can now use the data. So for the data is now going to be request.data, and the carry params is going to be carry params is equal to error. We get the request options.carry params. So the same thing we passed before, we just resend them again. This is what we are doing here. And we can just what can you do? Just we can return we can do return with return handler.solve, and then we just pass that clone, this one, you pass this one here. But if it's error, so we don't want to do anything else. We don't want to do anything else. If it's error, we just clear. We can just do await, and then clear. We don't want to do anything else, because if it's another error, we don't want to keep repeating the refreshing token again. Clear token. So the clear token doesn't exist. So we can create this method clear token. So down here, we need to clear a clear token. So clear token doesn't return anything. We just wait for the token. If they support it, we can clear the token. Else, we can clear from here. So that's it. Okay, that's it. Now, if we go back to, we want to go back to our request. DO options. DO option. We have interceptor. So interceptor. We intercept, and we also wrap the intercept. We wrap the intercept some options here, and on catch response. If you go back, we want to see for response. On response, on a response, we don't really need to do anything. If you want, we don't really need to do anything on a response. We can remove this because we don't need that. We don't need the response. The response, if we got a response, is fine. We just return. But request, you can get a request and add the token. But if we have error, we can intercept the error and retry again the request to see if we can make the request. We can make again the request. So if we clear error, finish, what can we do? We can just we don't need to print the message. We can just return this one. Return this guy here. That's it. Okay, and call next. Okay, so that's it for the interceptor. Let's see what do we have here. Oh, this guy is not supposed to be in here. We can remove this one. That one not supposed to be in there. Platform, we are using platform. Boolean platform is here. Yeah. Got warning message here. Let's see, can you fix that? Oh, okay. Okay, so this is it so far. Next, we want to also use another method. We have a store token. We have read token. Where's the store token? We can call this can call it store token like this underscore store token is private. We also have refresh token. This one is also, you can also make it private. If I try to put underscore like this, we get an error. I'm supposed to get an error somewhere to complain that we don't have refresh token. Oh, see refresh token. Where is it? Yeah. Oh, we really have a refresh token here. So we don't need to of that. So I'm just trying to clear up a little bit before now we can continue adding some more methods in here. So we got, I want to walk you through what we have so far. The main function, we have supported platform to check if the platform is supported. We got also read token to read our token. We got also store token, and we got refresh token. Okay, and clear token. Okay, so we also got a couple of methods we are going to add in there. So a couple of methods we have is public store access, and say public. These are private, so we have public store access token. So this guy we can call now the store token. Sorry, we also got the refresh token. We can also call the refresh token. So instead of this one, we can actually just return one line like this. So we can do like store token void. We don't need that. We can just return one line of code like this. We don't need this one. Let's see. We don't need that. So just one line of code is fine. And also here, we can just return store. This is store refresh token. We can just return the store refresh token. We don't have store refresh token, so we need to create. I think I deleted that. Can you create a function store refresh token? We have read refresh token, but we need the feature. Let's say store refresh token. Yeah. So the function for this one is when we get our refresh token, we just store them. We also check the platform. Yeah. So what we do is check the platform. If the platform supported, we store it. We store that, or we use a share preference. Share preference. This is if it's a browser or is window, and here we can just call that method. What else can you do here? Let's see. Store refresh token. So get refresh token. Clear all. So for this one, this function, whenever everywhere it is, we need to make sure that it's private. We can call this privately like this. Yeah. So it's private. So if you want to clear, we can just call this method and then you call that private one. Okay. We can have get token. Get, yeah. So we can do get token or get, you can call it get token like that. So this is to access it publicly. Clear token. Mm, what else do you have? Yeah, we can also add standard HTTP. Say standard HTTP request. So for that, you can do feature. Let's do feature, and then we take response. I don't want to follow that. Get response. You can do get. So for if we do get, we can do string, and then we take the path. Okay, and we just do our do.get. You pass the path. We can also do post. So we can do the same thing, post. So for post, we'll get the path, we get the data, and then we can do do.post, and then pass the path and the data. We can also do put. We do the same thing, and also delete. Delete, we don't really have data. Delete doesn't take data, but what you can do is just pass, take the path, and we pass this one. Because the delete pass the ID, whatever ID or string to attach to the path, to the path. Okay, this is it for the app. This is it for the API client. So next we need to go ahead and clean up. So you can even use AI to walk through this, and also add you can also add some comments so to help us catch errors before starting the test. All right. Before even starting that, we got something here. If you see down here, supported. So we are not checking for web. We must also check for web. We can correct this one. We can improve this to check if not web. Well, let's first of all is the arrow function. Arrow function. Come on. Say if not web, WebKit. Kit. What to call that? Kit. iWeb. Kit is web. The kit is web. So this one, so we have let's check if it was imported. It's not imported, so we need to import this this guy here. Up here we can import the Flutter Foundation, Flutter Foundation as show as as kit is web down here. So this is what we do here. Okay, so this one is much better. Okay, I can copy this. I want to use AI to clean up because I don't want to go through this the whole class again. So let's clean up this class and add full comment like this. So I pass the class. AI can help us to clean up. So I can also take a break. Okay, let's see the development with the AI. Okay, the summary: improved math, cleanup formatting, and dynamic consistency. Full doc documentation, full doc comments. Okay, right, that's correct. That's why we lack AI to use it to use it for the development. It's helping us. So if I save that one here, now at least we got the comment, and let's start from top. Everything is still the same. You can see our class is there. Everything is still the same. Still still have our interceptor, and this one supported platforms, read token. Okay, everything looks like correct. Yeah. All right, everything is fine. Okay, next let's work on interceptor. Oh yes, interceptor, API interceptor. Sorry, I meant exception. API exception. Exception class. Okay, so API exception, implement exception. So implement the exception. So what you can do is we do a finally message equal to string, and we can also do finally statue is equal to integer. And what else can you do? That's correct. Okay, so we can do API exception message. So we can just pass this message. Let's do this static code. Okay, that's correct. But let's override. We can do override to string. Override to string. I don't want to do that way. You can just do arrow function to string. Let's pass. What is that error? Override to string. We can just return exception message static code. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, static code. I don't know how you want to return, but this is just how we want to handle the messages, the errors. We can also do static. Let's do static. Static API exception from DO error. From DO error. So this is now where you want to catch much of errors. You want to catch all of errors from DO. Here we can pass DO exception. DO exception. DO exception. Let's see. Do you have something? similar DO exception, and we want to pass DO exception type DO error. This one is supposed to be DO error. It's fine. DO error. So let's import this. Import DO. Okay, now if we import that, we need now to get, we can use a switch class. You can use switch statement instead. But first of all, yeah, we can use switch statement. Where is it? The method is here. We have error and what to return. So what I can do is I can clear everything here. I don't want all of this. I can do switch statement. So I can do switch statement. Yeah. To see how much AI can generate all of this to return. You can also use AI to just complete, to clear up this. So what I can do, I want to AI to add let's say commenter, to clean up and add commenter. But before that, I want to show you what we are actually doing in here. So we get the error. We get error.type. So we get error.type. So what we're doing is just we catch the errors and we check the type, we return the message. Let's say, for example, error, if it is time out, we can return DO exception connection time out. Please try again. Let's say connection time out, and please try again. Please check your internet connection. If you request timeout, we can do this is send timeout. If send timeout, we can do request timeout. What can you do? Timeout while maybe I don't know, while sending the data something, anything is fine while sending the data. So this help us to just determine error, where is the error coming from, so that you can fix the error. So if receiving timeout, we can just set something like that. What else? So we got so much on the console. So you can see on the console, on bad response, on everything. So I can go to AI. So let's clean up this class and add full comment. All right. Okay, this looks like it was clean. So we just want to see the improvement mode, full commented, explain purpose and usage, consistency formatting, and the spacing. Okay, the class was just fine, but we just used AI to add a commenter. Okay, so if I add this here, okay, this is what we got so far. All right, so this was it. We got config, we got also client. Okay, next, what can you do? We need now to go ahead and add links to start now link. But before that, we need to create controllers. We don't have controllers for auth and for notifications. All right, so next thing we want to do is create auth, create controllers. So the structure, the way you see our structure is that to create controllers, we need to go to module, and so the where now we want to place the controller. Controller is for right here. We have auth. So the controller is for auth. So I can go to controller, and we find that we got controller here already, but we don't have anything in here. So we need to add a couple of things. We need to do all our stuff in here. So I can do finally auth service, but we don't have service, so we need to create service. We need to create auth service. Auth service is equal to service like this. We don't have that service. You see, now we're complaining about service class. This, we forgot about this, so we need to go and create service. To create service, we need to go to call. You see, we got network, and we got network, but we need to go to data instead. Data and service. So in service here, we can create auth service. Let's create auth service. So I'll show you the job for auth service. Auth service dot data class. So this is just how we organize our production app. So you need to be clean and structure. So in a auth service, you can do class auth service, auth service like this. Okay. We can do finally IP API. Okay, we can do finally a client, and we can do API is equal to, we get now that API, the API we created. Okay, so this is singleton. How to call that? Singleton instance. Okay, so once you have that, now we can now create. This is now where you want to create now all the request method. Post, login, register, all of that. We want to organize them here. So the first method you can create here is, let's say, feature. Say login method. Okay, login. Let's see, can this guy help us speed up? So for the login, the only thing we will require here is email. Require email and password. Email and password, and we can just do. We can do try catch. Try catch like this. So we'll get. We do finally response. Response is equal to API, and then we do post. So we don't want to do this part here. We can do app. API config dot login. I'm sure now we understand what you are doing now. Dot login. So this one we can pass data. This guy, remember, this guy accept data. You can select data. This is the post. Data, we pass email and password. Okay. So if we get the response, we can do finally data is equal to response.data. Response.data. So if you get me, can maybe do map. So you can do, let's say, for example, if data dot contain key, dot yeah, can do dot contain key. Contain key, that is what called that. That's this is that dot contain key. Let's say, for example, the key we are looking for, but actually we don't want to do that now. Instead, if you get the data, we can maybe check if that data is map. You can do if data is map. Yeah, if data is map. So if it is map, we can check if data dot contain key access token. I don't know, the key could be actually what you are sending from the back end is access token like this. So we can get the access token. So we can do, if we get that access token, we want to store that data token. So we can do API await dot API dot store token. Store token, and we pass that token. If you get API client, this is the one. The method we are calling is store token. Store token. This is the one. So we just pass the string here. So we just pass. We don't need to pass this one. Just pass the token. That's if you get the access token. But we can also, if you also get the refresh token, we can do the same thing. API dot refresh token. Let's check store refresh token. This is the one also we call here store refresh token. Okay. So if you get user, we can check, because once you log in, so we get user data. So we can do if contain user data, we can do something. For example, but we want to return, actually. We want to return instead. If contain user data, we want to return here. So if you want, you can use arrow function, or just do return like this. You can just do line return user. So that means you can change this if is not equal to nil. So you can return user dot from JSON. Make user from JSON. Our model. So I can import that user model here. So this meant to complain that a value of a user cannot be assigned to type login. Yeah, we will check on that. We can do, but for now, we can actually just get user. We get user from that. So if we get the user, we can return the user. We can return the user. We can also check. Oh, actually, down here we are already doing that. Oh yeah, this is the one we are doing. We don't need this, but you can also do if maybe data dot contain key. Let's say key, for example, we just want to use a fallback. If you contain this key, so we now know that we also got user, so we can handle user. You can do user is equal to make user from the JSON data, and maybe return the user. Can do return user, and also this one, this could also do return user. So the method here is not supposed to be void. The method is supposed to return user. That's what I want to read. You want to return user. And the login means, yeah, return user. So now we're going to go for exception. What is this here? We didn't do. Okay, so if we didn't get anything, we can just throw exception. We can do throw exception like that. We can also do on error. You can now call out API error. API exception we created. So we can do on error on DO exception. This one we can call our API exception, which will pass the error. The API exception, remember that's the one we created. This, if you see up here, API exception, this is the one we created. It's here. Okay, so here, if DO, if we got also DO exception, what can you do? We can do a catcher. We can throw. Let's do throw again. Throw API exception, and then also pass our error. We call the method. Remember that method. I don't want to go back there. I'm sure you know about the method to save time. Okay, so that was it for this guy. But just want to say that you can maybe remove this return user. So that means you can just return this one. Let's see if you can correct this to just return this, or also just return this. Return this like this. I want to see that error, why the warning message. Okay, I can see why is that complaining, because we supposed to just check if contain user like this. Oh, contain user like this. So yeah, and also down here, this one is fine. Okay, so this was it for this is for the login. We can also create for create a registration. So a registration, I can do this. It's the same thing, except we also have to show the store the token and all of that. Pass the different params. Okay, let's go and do that. All right. For registration, I actually paste some code here, so because I don't want to type everything. Okay, we this is actually the same thing. So we required email, name, email, and password. So whatever you were requiring can just pass them here. This the data will pass to the back end. Email, name, email, a password, and device info. So I want to show you about the device info first. Device info is here. So the device info, we have this package, which we are not having it here right here, but we need to create this device info class. So the job for this one is just to help us get the information about the device. Sorry. So we are going to create that. But before that, this is a short one. We will get back to this. Before that, I want to walk you through the rest of the method we have so that you can get back to the device info. We have registration, which is this one. So we are doing the same thing as the login. Next one is the dashboard information. So for the dashboard information is just we make a request, get profile data, and this will return us dashboard information. So this one we must import the model, which is our dashboard model. So once if you get the data, you see now we are doing a get. The get is still here. Public access. If you go to public access get, public access get, so you just pass the path, you pass the path, and just will return the data. Return the data. So this is what we are doing here. So if you get the data, we just make the make a dashboard from JSON. So you pass the data, you pass this here. If you get to error, return the exception. And also we have a logout. So for the logout, we just want to clear the token. Logout is here. Clear token. So we want to call, sorry, I want to call this clear token. But if you also want, we can actually use our, we can add a function here. We can add a function here for logout, which we can use to log out, but we don't add a method here to log out. So that means to make a request to the backend to delete the token. We will do that in the future. And then another method we have here is get to refresh token. Get refresh token. If we come here, we have get. Do we have a get refresh token? We don't have it in here. So we can add from the public access. We have a store refresh token. You can also add get to refresh token. This one. So if I copy this, now that one is added here. We got it here. Okay. What next? Next we have forgot password. So we send the poster, and then we just pass the data is just email, get the response. So I'm sure the rest are very easy for you to understand. Reset update password. And next we also have verify email, where you can just pass the data. So we just do post. You can see now the importance of our API, that we just call the API with the different method. We also have update data, but this one is if we go to config, API config, what is the URL we are using here? Update profile. So you can pass to update profile like that. What else? Okay, so now we have update background image, update now, update also avatar. So for this, we need to import the file. What do you call that? Pickup file, image pickup. So we can import image pickup up here. Do import package. No, okay. Actually, import. Let me try to tell this guy. Okay, we can just do package. Package to image pickup like that. and the error is gone. So now for this one, we need to check which one are you using. This is the one you're using here. Can update this, the path, and the config, change profile image. Just go down and change the profile image. What else do you need to update in here? All right, so the another thing is we need to work on a device, device helper. But before that, let's import to get. Yeah, to avoid that. Now we only have this import device helper. So for the device helper, we need to create a class can help us now to handle the device helper. Let's go and do that. All right. So what you can do is we go to service. We can create a class here called device helper. Do that like this. Okay, so I got a class here. It's not that complicated. So we can use we use a device info plus. If you go to perhaps you see device info. Make sure you have this one and the latest version. So once you have that, we just create our class here and we create this function get device info. So the job for this is just to get the device info. Device info, we initialize the plugin and we also create the info, which is going to be an object. So we check the platform. If it's equal to Android, we just create the Android. We do finally await Android await device info dot Android info. So to get the info, if we get the info, we return that. Yeah, we get the info. If it's iOS, we get the iOS info. If it is if it's not all of that, so we just return device not supported, and we return the operating system. The model unknown, brand unknown, and the rest unknown. You can also catch error and they just return error else we return that info. This is the one here, so we update. If we get, we return it down here. So this is the only thing we are doing here, nothing complicated. So I can close that, and here I can just import that class. So the job for this, we call the class, we get the info, and we return. So once we get the info, the device info, you see now, for example, the login. Login also, you can update the device info if you want. You can add the device info. You can also add the device. We have a device info here already. So this is it for auth service, auth helper. Sorry, auth service. Now, if we go back to auth here, we can now go and complete now the auth controller. So now we can handle now the data when we are sending the data. So the job for this one is playing like sorry, we get the data from user input and call the method. Once we get the data, try now to navigate navigate different part of the app, store the data, access. So we are going to use GetX, this GetX actually. Okay, let's go and do that. All right, so for auth, you see now we can import now that class, the service class here. We don't have error anymore. We can now we can maybe let's create a shrink to handle maybe redirect. So if you want to, let's say, redirect after login is equal to need. There's nothing. We just define the URL here. Yeah, but if you define something like this, so you must make it nullable after registration. No, you don't need that. Okay, so we can do, let's do something finally. I don't want to explain to you every step. We can just keep coding so that to avoid the video to get that very long. So I can do rxn, and we want to use a map. So I can do map and shrink. Map and shrink. That is for the device info. We want to get the device info. Let's first of all import get. Import get. So this is not going to be that. This is going to be a device info. Yeah, like this. Can I remove this one? Next, we can also, let's create is locking in, is loading is equal to false. What else can you create? Let's also create user. Let's create rxn user. Yeah, that's user is equal to, okay, we can maybe do current user to avoid error. Current user or author, depend on what we want to call it. We can also do boolean. Do rxn this could be boolean. Yes, let's do boolean. Is registering registering like this is equal to boolean, but we don't want to do boolean like that. We can do dot false. False to just watch for the change. What am I missing here? Or am I just tired? The value, oh, let's actually duplicate the same one here and just paste. And this one is registering like this. Okay, next, what can we do again? We can do finally, let's do rx and dashboard data is equal to dashboard data, or dashboard underscore if you want. Dashboard. Okay, what else? I could have just pasted the content here, and then we have get a dashboard. If you want to do dashboard, you can do to get the dashboard data. Dashboard data. Okay. Okay, what do you want to do now? We want to do now login. Let's create first word login. But before that, we can also define the user. Or this is the get dashboard. And also do get user data. We can do user and then just do get. So if you call user, you will just do current user and dot value to get the current user. So you can also even change this to add underscore. Okay, so we can do another thing is here. We can also do auth service. We don't want to keep calling this auth service all over our application. So we just want to initialize it once. Create the instance of it once and reuse it. So we want to reuse it through the auth controller. So to do that, I can do auth auth service, can do auth service, and we just do get auth service. So if you do get auth service, so we return this one because we don't want to keep reinitialize the class all over. Okay. I think this is correct. Now we can just go ahead and add the login and login register the method. So for that, you can allow me to paste the content because it's the same thing we are going to do all over. So to save time. Okay, so I got some couple of methods here to add. Can just paste the method here. Okay. When I paste it, we probably get much errors, but this is fine. So what we have in here, we have login in processing. So instead to call process, we can processing, we don't have it. So if you want, you can call it something else, but we can call processing. Let's say, for example, this is the same thing. Logged in, loading. What else do you need to create in here? Got a couple of methods to create. We can also import app route. We can import our app route. We can also import our exception. What else do you need to import? Device info, device helper. I also want to import something else. Okay, here, the login. Login. What does login here required? If you take auth service and you take our login, yeah, the login here. So that means we need to pass, change this to a class like this. Need to pass like this. Set email. Let's see. Can't have a value nil. You can set the required, add the required key, and also add the required key. So that error is gone here. So this is what we have in here. So I just want to walk you through what we have. So we called our login from the this is the login. So once the client hit this, what happen is we expect the user from the auth service. So this is the auth service. You can see that this guy, if you get the user, if you get the data, you will return say data, you map the data, store the token. After update the token, so this guy will return the user. So this is the user we are expecting here. So if you get the user, we are update now the current user, which is up here. We update the current user. So if the current user got data, so anytime you call auth.user and we just return the user data. And you can see that here, if after getting the data, so we're just going to update all of this. We're going to update the store the token, the access token, refresh token. So we have nothing to do with the from auth, everything is clear. We don't have to do anything. So, but if we got an error, we call now our API exception, and is processing is set to false. So we just do get dot snack bar to show the snack bar. So snack bar, you can choose where you want to show that snack bar. That's for login. So we got also register, which is actually doing the same thing. We pass the information, and if we get the user, we update the user data. If we got the error, we will show the error. We also have now we have load profile. So we just define in here get profile. If you go to service get profile is this one. So we just go this guy. This guy will bring the return the information. the dashboard information. So once if you get the dashboard information, just update our dashboard information. So if you user call auth.dashboard, so we just return that information. We also got the logout, which you just clear the token. Service here that clear, which is have a logout there. You just clear the token. If you want, you can also let's say, for example, send the request to server if needed, stuff like that. After we just redirect a user back to the logout, and we have check auth. So check auth, the job for this one is we get the device info if the user is authenticated. Anytime if a user reload the app, we check if the user is authenticated. We got token. So we check, first of all, we get the device info. And if user is logged in, got logged in up here. If user is logged in, what we do? If user is logged in, we just redirect to home page. Else, we check the token, get access token, we check the token. If the token does exist, so we load the profile info. So if you get the profile info here, get profile info, where is it again? Yes, get profile info. You see that we will update the login to true and also update the current user. And this one here from this guy, we also update the here also you get the data, we update the rest of the information about the user. If we fail that, we just return, show the exception, log not exception, but just set log into false. And we have logout, check auth info, load profile info or profile data. Yeah. So here I want to show you a couple of things here. Try catch. So we do try catch. We can do the refresh token. If the refresh token is equal to auth service.get refresh token. So if we have that, we can try now to refresh the token again. Send the token. If you get the token, we can call this method. Save token, containing refresh token, and also just save the refresh token. After that, we can load the profile info again and redirect user to the home page. Else, we just call the logout. So the logout function, logout method is somewhere here. This is the logout. The logout just clear the token and redirect the user back to the login. And if no session, nothing, we can just redirect the user back to the login. And we have now forgot password, which is easy. We just call the forgot password, pass the reset token, and if you get show the success message. And also this optional. We can just say routes dot reset password to redirect to the route. And another thing I want to show you that here we must we must make sure that this guy accept the token, accept the, how do you call that? This guy will be able to access the token from the path. Yeah. Okay, this is correct. this is what we have, and we have also update password, which is also so easy, so much easier, and update profile info. But in this for this episode, we are just going to cover login, API login. So create an account, login, and update password and reset password. So the update profile info, we will work on that on our next episode when we start working on profile data. All right, this is it for auth controller. If you miss something, you can always leave comment here. So the code is available for our channel member. So if you are a member, if you are a member to our channel, you can still access the source code from our GitHub repository. Okay, so if I save this and we reload our app, nothing will happen. If I go to our app, try to reload, nothing will happen. So we must handle a couple of things. First of all, we need to reset the whole app, or delete and restart the app, recreate the build, and now go and integrate the whole system through the UI. All right. Another thing is we need also to create another controller before starting the login system UI. So I can go to controllers, profile controller, so we can place it. We just want to place it within auto controllers because we want to simplify the accessing data for auth. So we don't want to have so much within one controller. So profile controller, and is not much in here. I can paste this controller in here. Okay, what do we have? What we got in here so far? Get auto controller. We need to get auto controller, which is this is the one. Auto controller. Let's see. Auto controller. We don't need that. You can pass auto controller here. Import. So the model is the image controller, image model. So we can import that image model. We have that. We created that here. This is the image model. Okay. So in here, the idea here on this controller is if from the profile, from user's profile, auto can authenticated user can access data without initialize the instance called this. So we can, for example, access name, access email, image, avatar. So update this data without have to access or checking auth controller. But on init, we want to get the user. So we call auth.user, and then we update the value here, all of this value. All right. And we can also, that one is correct, but we can also update, if you want to access the image, update the profile image, save profile image. So we just simplify the thing. If you see here, we call auth controller dot sorry, auth controller dot service. Remember the one I told you here, the service here. So how you can get the service within the other controllers, so you can access the service, this one here. So we do auth controller dot service dot update image, update avatar. So you just pass the avatar and just will update the avatar. Also the same thing, update background image. That's it in here. Okay, so I can save this. We don't have any error. for now, but I can go to auth bandings. This is the auth banding where we want to show, we want to um, uh, inject the dependencies. So we inject our auth controller. So another thing is, if you take now, I want to show you now the dependencies injections or bandings. So if you take a main banding, so main banding, where is it located? This is our lab or library. We close all of this one. So we got our main function, and then we got our main bandings. This is our main bandings. You can see that auth controller is here. For this one, and so we can change this to just use put. You can do put home controller. Home controller. I don't need to pass that home controller like this. The idea here is after the first thing is we load the lazy loading, the first auth. But couple of things here we need to do. First of all, we initialize this one, but we don't want to initialize it like, we don't want to use it like this. You can use auth controller.put. So I can use finally auth controller.put. So we get the controller. Once you have the function, the controller, we want to call the method auth dot check auth. So this is the method we want to call. So when the application launch, we want to call this method here dot check. So if you go back to our auth controller, if you take say check, say check. This is the check. So I explained to you, I explained the job for this one. So the check just get the device info, check if the user is authenticated, redirect to the home page, else get the access token and load the profile information again, profile data again. So back here, this is what we are doing here. But you can do now register lazy load homepage, but not only homepage. We don't want to actually load the homepage, because homepage you want to access there directly. Instead, what you can do is maybe profile. You can do profile instead of homepage here. You can do profile controller, and this is going to be profile controller. So this one can wait to inject it after. So the rest also we can add them here. I don't know, notification, the rest of the controllers. Okay, this is fine. Okay, if now I go back, I stop the application, and I can do Flutter clean and Flutter run. So we want to clean and rebuild our application. Okay, so this may take a couple of seconds or minutes. So I will see you once the build completed successfully. So our application launched successfully. We don't have any issue. So if I click get started, so this is supposed to take us to home page, or to the login. But first of all, we want to go to our application. Go to I want to go to modules, author, and banding, but actually view. This is the viewer. So this is the login. But what you want to see, remember here, the main banding, this is where we call this this method here. So we can go to our auth. So we want to check if this method is being called there. If we actually accessing this method, let's just print a message here, checking auth, and reload. Try to reload or restart the app to see. So if that method is being invoked, we will see here, yes, checking auth. Okay, so now we know the method is working. Now what is missing here? Nothing is missing. So the thing is, um, if you click, if we have token, I want to show you a couple of things. The checkup, we can do some checkup, or debug some issue. You can do, for example, access token. We will print access token if we have it. Here we can do, if device info is being called, where's the device info here? We can we want to info the device info down here. Okay, so let me restart the app and see. We want to debug the processor to see if everything is working perfectly. Now the app is restarted. If I want to show you the app, this is the app. If you go down here, we see device info is here. This is the mark of the device I have. You can see Android 11 and the device model, and the brand is Oppo and manufacturer is Oppo. And you can see access token is equal to nil. So we don't have access token. If I go and click get started, yeah, now it's redirecting us to the login. So that means everything is working perfectly. The only thing we are missing here is the token. So I can actually go ahead and remove this one. Can undo this. Okay, so what we want to do now, we want to go to auth view, and then we can now implement now the login, auth view and login. So here, are you bringing the controller? Where's the controller? So here we need to bring the controller. Building. Here we can bring the auth controller. So we can do we can do finally auth controller is equal to controller, or we can just call it controller like this. It's fine. And import auth controller. So we get now the controller. So we want to use that controller to, okay, we want to use the auth controller so that we can invoke now, or you can now invoke the login method there. So we can go scroll down a little bit. I want to see where you can add that. Where's the login button? This is the login button. So we can, I can copy the whole thing. I can remove the whole thing. Right? Let me see where you start from. So we just want to wrap this. Say login button. So if you see login button, start from here and end from here. So we can just copy. I can copy the whole thing like this. So what I want to do, I can do OBX. Okay, AI is smart enough to help us. OBX and want to do OBX, but you don't want to pass that. I actually want to pass a function. Yeah. I want to pass a function and want to return this guy. I want to return this button. Nope. What is happening? Want to return the button. Oh, where is it on press? Is something missing here? Let me see my note. Oh, we want to return. Okay, so what we need to do is instead we can return, yeah, and then I can just return the button like this. I don't need that one. And here, okay, so here I want to define the let's do, for example, is busy is equal to what.process. So if it's processing, remember the processing is here. If it's processing, so if we access that, if it's processing, okay, we want to show busy if it's processing. Yeah. So on press, this is the on press. So we can implement this. Let's say, for example, we can show two type of button, or we can do here. We can do is busy and nil, and for the child here, we can also do is busy. We can return is loading. Okay, so that's correct there. But after that, the login, if you see the on press here, we just redirect to login, but we don't want to do that. Instead, we can do login. We can instead do controller. Let's do controller. Our controller. Oh, no. Auth controller. Auth controller.login. So we pass auth controller.login. So we can pass now. This is our login. So this is the login here, which we have this one. So you see that login require email and password. So this is what we are doing here. So we take now that login, we pass it email from the form email, and also the password. Okay, so if I save that and I reload, we want to test that login. Okay, can go back to application is here. Okay, well, just give it some time to give it a minute to reload. So if I go the login, okay, I can try to log in with the, let's say, for example, Shaba, let's say, for example, Muswamba. I have an account with this one, and I can give it email, password, sorry. And now try to press the button. Now you see we have now the loading button. Yes, correct. So that's successfully. So I want to show you what happened here. What is happening here? If you see, first of all, let's implement logout. I want to implement the logout so you can see, because we want to log the user out and restart again. So to log the user out, if you go back to this user, try to click the navigation is not working. So that means we need to implement the navigation so that we can now add the logout. Well, let's work on the navigation first to help us navigate to user profile and also to show the logout. All right, so to handle the navigation, so we got home, we got this called home controller. We created this in our previous episode. Home controller, so the job for this one is to help us to handle the data about the home screen and also authenticated user. If you see, we have authenticated layout. This is the authenticated layout we created. So if you see the bottom here, this is the bottom navigation, this one. So for our bottom navigation, we handle it with the controller. And controller we are using is home controller. We just check the index, navigation, we check the index to show. So if I go back to home controller, this is the one. Every time on type, I can just print selected index. So if I save that to reload, I should reload and go back to our application, minimize this. So anytime you click, you get a message. Yeah, we're having an issue, exception. Yeah, we're having an exception. I think it's because of event. Oh, maybe we can do this to shrink because this is integer to shrink. If you type we are getting error. What's the exception saying? Exception code point data is not true. Okay, I think I need to restart the app, but I don't want to do that for now. Instead, I can just go ahead and go ahead and show what I want to do. Ignore that error. Okay, so what I want to do is index 1, index 0. We want to go to home page. Index 0 want to go to home page. Index 1 we want to go to let's say for example chat. We don't have chat because you see here it's supposed to go to chat and booking, so we don't have chat, or can call it messages, message. We don't have message. And index 2 is supposed to go to booking. We don't have booking and profile, so we need to create these two. To create these two, we can go to app route, and let's create app router. Let's create let's say protected route, message, booking, notification, let's say booking details, let's say profile, profile or dashboard. Dashboard. We have profile already. Where's profile? Yeah, profile is here. So this one is protected. We pass this one here. These are protected routes. So I can take page here. We can do protected route, message, message, booking, and notification. What else? Booking details. These are protected. So this one, if you see now, they are requiring to have view. So we can generate the view. Let's say message view, and booking view, and notification view, and also booking details view. Okay, so we don't have these views. We can go and create one by one. I am sure you know how to create these views. This I can take. Let's take an example of dashboard view. This is the dashboard view. We don't have much in here, so I can copy this. And we need to create. Minimize this one. We can create. Yeah, I can create booking view, or another thing, we can copy the one we have in here. We have got auth, but we can just create another one. I create one, so the rest you can just go ahead and create the rest. So let's create, for example, booking. We create a booking. So in booking, we will create. Let's create views, and also create controllers, and also create banding. Yeah. What else do you need to create here? Controllers banding. So from view, you can now create booking views, or view dot like this dot that. So this one you can change this. I can rename this to booking view, and this one just call it booking view. Okay, so if you now go back to here, call booking view is now here. So you go ahead and create the rest, and I'll see you after. All right. So for me, I managed to create all of this. So I created booking is there, message, and notification. So is there. So for the dashboard, we are using this one. So the dashboard is here. So this is the one you're using for the dashboard. Okay. If you go back here, you see that we are using the same auto banding. So in our next episode, we will create a different banding for each of these. For now, we can just keep it this way. So what we are going to do is you need to restart your app. After this one, you need to totally restart your app. Okay. Now if we go to this is the app, so we can wait for the app to restart. Okay. Now go back to. Sometimes you need to just clear the build and rebuild again. So try to access. Yeah. So this one you need to clear the build and restart again. Okay, this is what we are going to do. So I can do Flutter clean and Flutter run again. This might take a couple of minutes, because of the size of the app. All right, I'll see you once the build has completed successfully. All right, so the app was restarted successfully. Now let's try again that point selected. Set to shrink. Let's try to reload. Okay, now the app is here. Try to press again. You can see down here we get index, but you also redirect to the page. Got dashboard, and we also got the message, and of course the home page. That was successfully. So what you want to do, I can actually delete this one. So our index is working. But let's just complete a couple of things in here first. In here, we want to get the auto controller. Can do finally auto controller. Remember, I told you we can reuse auto controller all over, and anytime you want to get the data. So auto controller, you can do get found, get.found the auto controller. So you can also do var selected index. Actually we have it, but we can maybe just create finally, let's say name is equal to obx.watch. So we want to observe that name, email, and also you can observe maybe avatar, what else you want to observe, and the background image. So you can do override or init on init, on init. So we want to do we can do user. Are you defining user here? Nope. Okay, user is equal to auto.get user, and then if you get the user, we can now get the email, the name, and update them. For this one is actually path. Sorry, we need to do .path, and then this one too. So that's correct. You can just reload that one. So this is the only thing you need to do in here. Okay, it's a couple of things in here we want to do. Remember, we want to see how we can log out. We want to go to dashboard view. Dashboard view. This is the one. So this one, if you take authenticated layout, um, authenticated layout, you see you can show the drawer, and show also up bar. So what can you do? If you go, you can close this one for now. If you go back to here, you can show the drawer, and there is going to be our sidebar. Supposed to be sidebar. Where is the sidebar? We didn't create the sidebar. I'm not sure. Did we create the sidebar? Nope. We're supposed to go to widget to see if we have that already. Widget, show up. We don't have sidebar. So sidebar, that's the one you can show. You can help us get more links. Links can help us to show more navigation menu, but I'm sure we got that. All right. If you don't have that, we can still go ahead and create the sidebar or drawer. Okay, so to create that, we can create here, can create a sidebar. Sidebar, that's correct. Sidebar dot that, or just sidebar like this. Dot that is still okay. So here we can do stateless and the sidebar like this. So this is going to be drawer. I would call that drawer. Yeah, it's going to be drawer. Let's see if AI can help us add whatever thing we need to add in here. I don't know why we don't have sidebar here. Okay, if you go to unauthenticated, we still don't have it here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we can now go back to here, dashboard. So drawer, this guy expect sidebar, so we can give this sidebar here. So if I save that, reload, so we want to see the sidebar. If you hit this dashboard, we want to, the thing is, we want to show the sidebar here. But also we can go to authenticated to see what we're supposed to show. We can show the drawer. We can the drawer is here. Yeah, if you if you send drawer, we can show it. Yeah. So try to go back. This is the one we have. Drawer widget. What else? Okay, let's try to restart the app. Okay, restart the app. Let's just wait for the app to restart and then see. Okay, go to dashboard. The drawer is not showing, so let's work on this first. Right, so couple of things you need to do here. First of all, I got some a template here for the drawer, so I can paste this template here. Can get rid of all of this one, and I can import import auto controller like this. Okay, so I got a couple of things in here I want to explain to you. We need a profile avatar, which we don't have. I can create that, but before that, I want to explain to you that this is we just use the drawer. So we return the drawer first of all. This is the sidebar, the drawer. So we return the drawer, and then we use the list view, and inside we're just going to have the drawer header, which we show just show profile avatar. We will create this component, and we return also the name. So how are you getting the name? So we get the name from we get the auth.founder. So we can use auth. We can also use the profile. So once you get that, we can show the name. If you have name, you show, else you show nothing. So this is the same thing. Even if you use a profile, it's still going to handle the same thing. So for routing, we can use this, import the app route to go to home page, profile, setting, which we can also just pass the path if you want to pass the path. And also we have contact. So this is just to help you navigate to different pages. And down here we got now also the logout, which is we really want to see. So for this one, we can create this component. I'm sure this one is not that complicated. We just create a list, column, and then within here we just create this reusable list tail. So for list, reusable list tail is here. So just a small widget which will return title, icon, route. So this is the list tail we returning. Okay, so if I take that, it is something I want to create. We can take this one and sorry, we go to widget. Here we want to create a profile avatar. That. Okay. For profile avatar, what can we do in here? We can just do stateless. Stateless. We can call it profile avatar, and yes, you can take the file. So I don't want to show the file right now, but you can show the file, pick up image. Let's call it, let's say for example, file. File is import file, so that is going to be picked up, picked image. And also we can maybe say username, let's say finally shrink username. What else can we add in here? Let's say finally double size. So this can pass them here. Nope. Can change this. Let's try to change. Pass the rest there. We can import material. Okay, so the rest we can you can choose to work on it right now, or we can work on it later. But what you can just, we can return circle avatar. Circle avatar. If you got image, we can show image. We can show image. Yeah. You can show image if you have image, else you can show nothing. But also we can just, let's say, reduce to maybe 40, like this. So what we want to do is just to show it here. We don't want to have this error. The name parameter username is not defined. Oh, let's see. Is a username. Okay, so you can save that and just reload. Yeah? Just try to reload. The application is here. We don't have any change yet. The application will restart, of course, but it's a couple of things we need to do Authentication, we can authenticated user here. We can try to clean it up a little bit. So you see here, we return the user. I will return the body safe area. Okay. But we can also do the drawer. We can do, for example, if show sidebar, we can show the drawer, else show nothing. Yeah. So here we can maybe add this guy here. So finally show sidebar. Can it be nillable? Let's see. Nope. Show sidebar by default is equal to false. Let's say is equal to false. Okay. Okay. If it's false by default, so that means we can set it required, remove that key. So somewhere else, somewhere you meant to require that. I don't know where, but we will just see. Okay, so the idea here is we want to show the sidebar. We want to show the drawer conditionally. So if I save that, we go back to dashboard viewer, because for example, if you see the home page here, we don't want to show the sidebar. But if you go to somewhere like dashboard, we want to show the sidebar. This is the idea. So if I restart the app, so we want to see, for example, from the dashboard, we want to show that sidebar so that you can see the side menu or the drawer, and also some screens. So let's try to go again, home page, and then hit the. Oh, how come we are not showing? Let me work on this. Let me check on this first. All right. So you got a couple of things here we are missing. So we're supposed to show sidebar to true, and then also use app bar. Remember, for the drawer can only show on the app bar, so we can import this, import material, and then remove this one. So now this is correct. If now I save this and restart the app, so we want to see the drawer sidebar so that can help us to navigate. Yeah, it's actually there. Let's try to restart again. Okay, now let's go to dashboard. Now the drawer is here. So our idea is, if you are on the home page, you want to see the drawer because it's showing you conditionally. But if you are in some screens, we can see the drawer. So the sidebar is here. Now we want to hit the logout. Yeah. Now this is what we wanted. You wanted to hit the logout so that you can log out to delete the token. So the logout is working, login is working successfully, logout also is working successfully. So we need to go now to register. This one, I can work on a register view. This is the one. So we need also to handle the registration, all of that. Okay, let's go and do that. All right, so for registration, we can do the same thing as here. You see that we need to do OBX. So we can bring the controller in. This is the controller we need to bring. So if I go to register here, we can bring the controller. Import that. Okay, so with the controller, first of all, down here, where we call this is the one, it's the button. where we want to wrap the registration button. So from there to here, yeah. So I can copy the whole thing, remove the whole thing and do, let's see, AI can suggest what to do. Let's do, nope, come on, no. AI didn't do it smart. So we want to do OBX and let's see, is this correct with AI? Nope. Okay, OBX, we can pass now inside here, pass a function. If you want, you can pass inline function, an inline function like this. Yeah, inline function, and just return the rest. Register like this. This will take also take confirm password. Okay, so this guy will take, if you see what we are doing the same thing. You take controller is busy, and after validate, or after validation, the data validation, so we can just call now this controller.register. You pass the data, email, and pass email name, email, password, and confirm password. So if you go to auth controller, this is the auth controller, and this is the registration. You see the required data here. So once you get the data, we just now go ahead and create the user. So if you also want, you can watch the back end. This is the back end. You can go to auth. This is the author. Auto register. So here we can let's console.log. Console.log data receive. Let's pass email, role, and device info. Okay, role is not there. We are not passing role for now. Okay, so if you go back to front, this is the front end. I can now try to just restart the app. And restart the app to see the. If it doesn't work, you can try to reload actually the app, the entire app, or rebuild the app. So I can go to. Let's go to register. I can actually type from my phone. That will be faster, but I don't know. This is actually the fastest one. I can do column, column 0, like this, and then I do color2 at me.com, and the email and the password, and enter password. What's next? I create a term on service, and then register. But you just jump. We didn't see the. Okay, data received. This from the back end. Data received, can see color, color 2, a password, the device info. This is the device info and manufacturer. But it's something, just one small thing missing here. I'm sure you know what is missing. So here we could have shown restarting, but we could have shown processing. So that means if you need to go to auth controller, here we need to update this. If password is okay, we can do the rich thing. So this is the one we are using. Instead of processing, I don't know why you have two different variable. Yeah. Okay, so let's try again. So we can actually log out. We're going to go to dashboard and log out. So if you log out, this will send us to login. So from login here, let's try to create an account. We want to create an account, but we must now create an account with a different user. Let's say, for example, let's say Shabani Muswamba, and let's say Shabani Shabani 122 at me.com, and the password 6. Confirm the password. Okay, and I create the term of service. Now we want to make sure that this is showing the circular processing or progress circular. Yeah. So we want to make sure that you see that. Okay, that's congratulations. That's job well done. So if you go back, you see that we receive also the data here, and you'll be able to go to the login. Okay, so in the login, what we need to do here, we can just update the data. Yeah, update the data, whatever you are passing here. But I would like to do that in the next episode. So since this video is already long, so allow me to create a next episode, which we can now process the data, also work on a reset password, so that you can process the data and build the user profile. All right. So thank you again. So this what happened here now. I restarted the app. I cleaned the build. Did Flutter clean and Flutter run to clean the build, and the app started successfully. So if I go to app, you see now that the app started successfully. So that means that if I can stop the app, I want to show you what's happening. So the app is here. So we can stop the app. I want to show you the app I stopped. So if I can do Flutter run, so that means that our app now, it doesn't need to, if you are already logged in, anytime if you launch the app, you don't need to go log in again. So the token is already been saved. So we just check the token. Well, we do the process. So you saw how we are handling the API request, API service. So we make sure that we check the token behind the scene. If the token exists, we try to refresh the token and log in. So the token, what I mean is from the server here, this authentication, the login, authentication, and we got also a refresh token somewhere here. This is the refresh token. So in the next episode, I'll explain to you how the back end is handling the refresh token. But this is the app. So we are trying to restart the app here. Let's see. We are trying to relaunch the app. So once we launch the app, we just check the token. If the token exists, try to refresh it and log in. send the user to the home page directly. So this is the splash screen. This is what is happening behind the scene. Okay. After voila, our application is ready. So if I click getting start, you can even choose to show different message. If the user is authenticated, you can choose to show different message. All right, in the next video we'll work on handling this, remove this static content, and build the profile or dashboard, and also reset the password. So this, our goal is to make this application, our application looks pretty much like this. I want to show you exactly like this one. You see, if you launch this app, you go to login, or go to home screen, and then so we want to build our profile or dashboard to be exactly like this one. All right, my name is Shaban Musamba. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and also like the video. We can also share the video. You can also support us through our channel, join the membership, or you can also support us directly. Okay, see you in the next episode.
Right, that's it for now, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Do stay subscribed for more.